the recording and jump into the stream. Alright, so you can see here it does say we're going into navigation level 8. That's because by having the full batch, all of our cards are plus, all of our cards are 100% chance of success. And I was lucky enough on that first run that I did get a silver C chart, so it increased our rank by 6. We'll go ahead and use this now, 100% chance success. Obviously, like we get more points like fighting them, but we're just going to go ahead and use it because it's going to speed up this run. Now there's 2 less fights we have to do on this one. I know some people, they just throw away like the pistols, slingshots, cannons because you don't get as many points. And I don't think there's anything wrong in that regard. It's just I think both camps are right there. Like me, of like I'm gonna go ahead and use it because it does speed this run up. Like yes, it is less points, but it speeds the run up. Versus if I go ahead and if I just trash this, then instead, if I trash using that, instead I'm gonna get more points when I actually fight that boss. Haley's over here like distracting me because she's like popping at me and shit. And she's like kicking up her hair everywhere. It's like making my nose run, Haley. She don't care. So this one, so we're fighting Sanji and Franky. So both teams, remember for the intrusion fight and the final battle rush fight, we are essentially using the same team just with different supports, and we're flipping how we're hybriding them, and you'll see what I mean. We're flipping how we're hybriding the captains, as well as we're changing one spot between then where our rocks and Roger is going to be. So you'll see. So for this one, since the type affinity you would want int, you would want to run a friend captain rocks and have your rocks pirate be on the crew. So that way you get the benefit of having both captain abilities to be able to bypass both of those defensive effects, basically. So we can go ahead and jump in here now, and you see down there the point multiplier is 31.53. Maybe I'm going to get some of my iced coffee real quick. Also, happy iced coffee day, chat. Had some iced coffee in the fridge already. I didn't want to go bad, so I'm celebrating by having my own. Good girl, Haley. Good girl. I love you, Haley. You just don't lay down. You don't ever lay down. You just sit there and look crazy. I see you look a little tired, but I don't mean she's going to lay down anytime soon. Hey. Taking my napkin I have to like wipe my nose because of your fur. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the iPad here just so we can like double check like our support or double check our special order. So you saw the what was his name, Hakugan or whatever. His support is only there just to give us this chain additive buff. That's all he's here for, just for some free damage on this stage. So he's not needed. I just threw him on there just for the extra damage. We're fighting Sanji and Franky, so you want to activate Stussy first. She's going to remove the bleed, the paralysis, and she's also going to give you the overridable orb buff. She gives you the conditional, but you're not going to trigger this stage, so there's no big deal in that. And you're going to want to go ahead and use your Roger crew. And the support that we have on them of this old Nico Robin support is going to give us a small attack buff. And also you can see up here the value of the threshold has been reduced to 0 thanks to the captain ability of Roger and them. So we can just go ahead and like easily take out Bonnie here. Roger's crew, you see they give us a slew of buffs, but we get the benefit of them being buffed because the enemy was a Paramecia type. Because remember, if the enemy has any Devil Fruit, it does buff like Roger's abilities and stuff by like 0.25. So just free damage as long as you're fighting a Devil Fruit like enemy. Well, let me rephrase that. A Devil Fruit enemy with character tags. I'm sure if you go back and you find some old content with a Devil Fruit enemy, it might not trigger if it's because unfortunately not everyone has their character tags yet. So you'll go ahead and launch the friend Captain Rogers crew to go ahead and remove the special bind. We're going to launch Saturn there. We do have the support of Law in here for the orb buff. And that's important because if you use the Rocks Pirates and there's already an orb buff, you're going to get target mark status. And you know, target mark status is just free damage. So you don't have to have that support on Saturn. I have it on the Saturn because I would rather have like all these fucking buffs with like the orb buff and the target mark status. But without it, you'll get a really huge orb buff from the Rocks Pirates. I just want like all of them, like all the buffs, so no biggie. So we can go ahead and you can see just easily KO. The King support on Kaido gave us a chain additive buff. We get the chain multiplicative buff from Rocks Pirates, huge attack buff from Saturn. So yeah, nothing to worry about in that fight. But again, that is because we were lucky enough to get the entire like boosted batch. So that clearly obviously makes a difference. And there you go, you see like 613,000 points from clearing that. So not bad. We're already at 1.6 million points in the treasure map. So that's why I said like no way in hell am I going to be streaming the treasure map tomorrow night. I'm going to be done with the treasure map definitely by tomorrow night. I'm probably going to be done with it by today in terms of getting the 20 million points, getting all my rewards and stuff like that. This I'll trash. I'd rather have the guaranteed steps because we have 100% chance on all of these, so I can just go ahead and activate this and get a stamina refill. That's why I wanted to trash a slingshot, so that way we could have the room for either stuff like the maps, the sea charts, Sea Cat. I'll take too. It's not as important right now since we're getting so many points from clearing. It's more important when you don't really have many boosted units. So Sea Cat, I'm not really sweating. We're getting so many points, I'm going to go for the treasure chest. You know, usually I'd go for the points, but I'm not worried about any points in this one. I'd rather just go ahead and like get all these rewards and stuff like that. But definitely the most beneficial ones would be sea charts first, and then these guaranteed step ones. So those are the ones we want to keep an eye out for. So versus Fujitora here, this is the one you just double up on Bond Clay. And the reason why I did that is just because, like I said, Bond Clay was kind of like the best unit to use for the captain out of like... one thing I do want to say is we did really good in this team building in that we basically have almost full teams, if not a full team, 5 of them, 6 members, all hit that enemy's weakness class. And Bond Clay, you know, you get the privilege to just pick your any class and type or stuff like that. Atlas was a good suggestion as like captain because she does boost fighters, but she only gives a cerebral superclass. So she would possibly only buff her unless you had like you built around having like any other cerebrals. So that Atlas isn't a bad idea as a captain. But I would just rather use Bond Clay to like just go ahead and get like the type affinity or the matching class with him. I mean, because he's already fighter, so you just have to change like one thing. I am gonna try and throw maybe some supports on here just to see if we can remove 3 of the turns of bind, so we only have to launch Franky and Sanji once, because we're not really getting any benefit of using theirs a second time. So the good thing is that once we do get Franky and Sanji super evolved, when we get to 3 million points, which will be very soon, as you're seeing, instead of having Bond Clay's chain lock, we'll have a chain boundary from them, so that'll be even better. So when we clear this treasure map run and we go back, I'm actually going to check the supports there, see if we can get any supports on there that could possibly like reduce our bind. I'm going to adjust my gain real quick. I see we're like redlining a little bit. Okay, cool. So there, that should be like a little bit better on the volume. Again, let me know, chat, if there's like any issues with the audio or anything, if it starts getting like too staticky or something. Because yeah, that definitely looks like a little bit better now that I did that. So versus Garp, this is the one I was saying in my breakdown video. You want to use the unevolved treasure map, or the non-super evolved treasure map Crocodile Legend. And that's because he boosts I can't remember if he boosts Dex and Cerebral or just Cerebral. I know he does boost like all of their characters by like a smaller amount, but his main focus I think is possibly only Cerebral, and then buffs everyone else by a little bit. But the Cerebral benefits also go only into his special. So his special of this Crocodile, he only provides an attack buff to Cerebrals, where the other one does it to Cerebral and Driven. So you want him on like the Driven team that we're going to use. So after you use one Crocodile, we can go ahead and use Morley and Karasu to go ahead and give us a slew of buffs there. The Bello, and remove the paralysis. Bello Betty is there to give us a pretty big orb buff to our Cerebral units, and pretty big in terms of a support. 1.75 is a pretty big orb boost on a support. Because then after you pop the Pacifista here, he buffs orb buffs if you already have one, and gives you this at class advantageous effect. And once you get class advantageous effect, that triggers your ability to use Morley and Karasu's or Morley and Karasu's super class or super type, so you can get super Dex from your crewmate. God, I'm like blanking there, chat. Sorry about that. So you want to use Stussy's only there really to just remove the barrier, but she does give herself a or she does give the team a conditional buff with the delay. And you want to make sure you use York last, because York's only there since you can't activate any of your potential abilities. It removes like hunger potential ability. So you want to use York last, so that way you get her slot changed down here, the recovery slots last, to just go ahead and consume the 2 recovery slots to get rid of the hunger. And you have more than enough damage in this fight, like super damage. You see, like I said, if you wanted super class from Crocodile, you could easily switch to the Moby Dick ship, but you don't need it because you're already getting like super type from Morley and Karasu as a friend or as a crewmate. So you don't like need it. Switching here just to get a Rocks Pirate friend captain, then we're actually going to go back versus Kizaru. Alright, so now that we're fighting Kizaru, so you see this one we get both EX specials. In the Intrusion fight we only got one EX special, and that's because of Whitebeard here and here both count. Like, even though it says like if you have multiple of the characters on like a unit, only one will count. That only matters if it's like, that only matters like, say like hypothetically, like if you're using like a Luffy and you need Straw Hats, Zoro and Sanji, one Zoro and Sanji would count as one of them. Like it would either count as like Zoro and Sanji both would count as one because it's one unit. So like this would count as like the Whitebeard for Roger. But this also counts as a Whitebeard for Roger. It's just saying like if Roger needed like say Whitebeard and Lin, it would only count for like one. So that's as long as you had like 2 units that fulfill those needs for like Roger's crew. So that both of those Whitebeards there, they do count that because it's counting one from each. If that makes like sense there. So you can go ahead and like clear this. So now once you get over to Pacifista here, let me just pull this up, just double check my specials. Want to go ahead and use the rocks first. Yeah, you want to use rocks first, and then use Saturn, because Saturn can like buff the orb buff. That's right. And again, threshold C is made to 0. So now we're good to go. We can go ahead and like take out the enemy here. Easy peasy. And now against my boy Kizaru. So this is the only one that you actually need Kaido for. You don't need Kaido for the other fight. Kaido's here to remove the attack down. So he'll go ahead and just get rid of the attack down there, as well as the stun. Again, the King support's on there just to give us this chain additive. Go ahead and use Stussy next, so you can get the overridable orb buff. And the attack buff is there from Stussy support, because you can't use Saturn on the final stage here, because Saturn will remove the Rainbow Shield, and if the enemy doesn't have Rainbow Shield, they're going to give you stun again, and they're going to reactivate Rainbow Shield. And the way like Roger and them are set up, Roger and Rocks are, they only apply that minus at the start. So if the enemy re-inflicts it, it doesn't like count. So we can go ahead and use Roger next. Go ahead and give us color affinity, class advantageous effect, chain multiplicative. We can go ahead and do their EX. And now we can trigger the Rocks Pirates. Get another territory set up for us. And the more important territory, because it's going to be Striker. So we'll get all 6. The other territory, like, since we are running 3 ints, like, it does still add some good damage to those int units. So, because it doesn't, the thing is, territory isn't color affinity. So even though like they're int units and we're fighting a dex boss, the territory buff, like, you just get the damage reduction and the attack bonus based off of if you have between 1 to 6 of those units. So since we do have 3, they are getting like a pretty good like attack buff. So now we can just go ahead and like easily take out Kizaru here. See, Kaido himself took him out. And we wanted to make sure we consume that Simla slot first. Like, tap with Kaido first, because he's going to give you your super tandem. But also, using Kaido first, you're going to go ahead and you can consume the Simla slot. And you want to make sure you put Kaido on the middle left side so that he gets a Simla slot. Because when you tap with Kaido with a Simla slot, he does give the enemy another minus 10 resistance to slashers. So just free 10%, or strikers. So just another free like 10% damage. I think he might do minus 10 to both slasher, or striker and powerhouse. So a 20% buff to him and a 20% buff to the Rocks Pirates. So nothing wrong with that. Like, free damage, like, definitely take it. So just make sure you have Kaido in that middle left spot. So that way he's not stunned and you're able to get that additional effect of their resistance down. Sorry. My throat's a little scratchy. I wonder why. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll still go this way because we can't get the treasure bird going that way off of this roll, but we might be able to get the other, what's it called? Damn, what's it called? Stamina refill. Gosh, I'm like blanking here today, chat, like on some of the stuff I'm saying. Sorry about that. I'm just very excited. I'm in a really good mood. Last month, the treasure map stream that we did was just, one, it was a lot of fun, and two, it was just super successful in terms of like the people I had come out for the stream and the followers we gained, and just the conversations like engaging with the community and stuff like that. So knowing that treasure map again, like we're going to be streaming it today, just has had me like really excited and stuff like that in general. So, and again, like I've said it before, but treasure map is my favorite game mode in OPTC. OPTC is my favorite game. So I'm just really, really amped up and like excited. Like this treasure map, I was really looking forward to, not just for the streaming, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this card because we're getting 100% on cards. Wow, we have 300% like fives. That's crazy. So hoping to get like a different number or something. So now we're only gonna have like one boss to take care of this one, so it's gonna speed up this map. Either a different number or honestly like more navigation charts would be great. But yeah, like this is just seems like this is just gonna be an easy, like smooth sailing treasure map as long as I can stop just rolling ones here. So, dude, what is it with these ones, chat? That was what, 4 ones in a row? One, three in a row. I feel like we got one back there. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be like a smooth sailing treasure map. But so that actually has me really excited. Like once I realized, like, wait, we're gonna be getting so many points, like we're just gonna be cooking and stuff. We're not gonna stream Treasure Map Thursday this month because like we're not gonna need to. Like we're gonna be done with it. We're gonna have all. We're essentially gonna have everything like done, all the rewards and stuff like that. Like my goal is still going to be to get to 2 super bonus maps. And because like I said, I just enjoy playing treasure maps, so I'll probably still do that. But like I don't want to like really farm it on like stream like that and stuff like that. So like this, I starting out like that definitely. And if we weren't at the point goal tomorrow, then yeah, I would. But I would just, I think it'd be more beneficial for us to just go ahead and start that SAO DLC because I'm really, really, really amped up and excited to see what's gonna happen like next in Hollow Realization now that we beat the main story. So like I'm wondering like I know so the spoiler free stuff that I know because obviously like we don't want it spoiled. I know Warriors of the Sky is going to add into this game's story Rain and I believe Seven also. So we'll get to like quest with them some more. Which is fine. I mean, Rain and Seven aren't like my favorite characters in like game versus original characters, but I don't have issues with them at all. It's not like they're definitely not Philia and Straya, but I don't have like any issues with them or stuff like that. So or Premiere, I like Premiere also a lot. I hope I didn't mess up the order there. Stussy doesn't change slots, right? No, okay, yeah, because I meant to use York last, but I guess as long as York is after Morley and Karsu, that's all that matters. But yeah, this is going to introduce like it's going to add into where we can use Rain and Seven in the story, and show like their inclusion into it. So I'm excited to see like what's going to happen there. It seemed like what was making so much noise outside my apartment complex was like a bus dropping off, like somebody. But then after beating Warriors of the Sky, I know we have the start of the 3 DLC ones, which was Shrine Maiden of the Abyss. I forgot to swap my captain there, so I'm just making sure like I get the right unit that we needed here. And yeah, this is it right. Sorry, just trying to like make sure we pick the right like captain and friend captain setup. It's not too hard to figure out because as long as whoever your captain is, you just know you need to take the opposite. So I guess it's not as hard as I was like making it out to be, not as confusing. But anyway, chat though, like I was saying, after we beat Warriors of the Sky, I know the next DLC kind of centers on. It looks like either Premiere again or maybe I'm actually like blanking here. What was What was Premier's sister's name? I actually can't remember right now. I can't remember what Premier's twins like name was, but I wonder if it's gonna like center on like her maybe. All I know is it's like Shrine Maiden of the Abyss parts 1, 2, and 3. So either way, it's gonna be exciting to like check out. I'm wondering like I'm interested in seeing like what additional side quests like the DLC stories could add. Obviously, like Rain and Seven, I'm sure. I'm positive are gonna have like some kind of like side quest event because they didn't get any like side quest during the main game, so I'm sure they are gonna have one. But I'm interested to see like what else there could potentially be in the game. Ooh, I'm so sorry about that, chat. My coaster from like condensation got like stuck to the bottom of my drink. Didn't mean to give y'all like a jump scare. Not mean to scare you guys. I did not mean to scare Haley. Sorry about that. I know I was really loud, Haley. Once I saw it was stuck, I was trying to like set it back down before it fell, but as y'all heard, I didn't get it in time. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting to do in SAO. Obviously, like I didn't get for anybody that has turned into our SAO streams. I have not got the needed amount of SSCs yet to unlock the additional katana moves, unfortunately. And I was thinking about doing some off stream like farming, but then I did not expect the last stream us to beat the final boss. I didn't know we were that close that we were going to get to the final boss on the last stream of the main game. And now I can't do any off-screen like farming of SSCs because of the fact that as soon as I like start the game and like go to continue it, it's going to launch into Warriors of the Sky. So obviously, like I can't stream until like we start that, so that way like none of the stories missed on the stream. Like you get what I'm saying. After like we get into it, then I know like okay, now we're at a point where like in between streams, like okay, I stopped here, I have stuff to do, I can just go back to the first area and just farm some SSCs and stuff like that. But we're gonna just keep like leveling up like our weapon affinities and all that stuff just to like we're gonna keep leveling up our weapon affinities and getting whatever SSCs we can through playing. Who did we use here? We used Stussy first for this one, and then we used Roger and crew. So yeah, that was funny that we kind of ended up in a situation to where like right now I can't farm off stream, which is funny. But I'm gonna keep like trying and attempting my best. Like I really do want to get those extra katana moves, so I'm gonna try my damnedest to. I didn't get it before the end of the game, but I'm gonna try and get the extra katana moves and skills before the end of like the DLCs and stuff like that. It's just that like I just don't know why that one has to be so egregious in the stuff you have to do. Like 3,200 of those like SSCs is just crazy compared to the stuff you have to do for like the other ones. Like it's ridiculous, man. I would like to get the EX skill. What was it? There's one of the EX skills you get by help me out, chat, what I'm trying to say. One of the EX skills you get by reviving teammates 44 times. We've only got like one. But the stuff you get for it is pretty cool. I would be kind of interested in like seeing that one. I just don't know like how you farm like revives and stuff like that though. Like I guess like going to fight something really cool. Hey, thank you for stopping by, B. I was really hoping that you would stop by on your break and stuff like that. So thank you for coming by. Go ahead and like grab that treasure chest. Yeah, she just got like really scared because I picked up my iced coffee and the coaster got stuck to the bottom by condensation and it fell. And like I saw it was stuck and I was like, oh, let me put it down real quick before it like falls because it's right beside my microphone and it fell and it scared her and it was like really loud. So if anybody was in this stream right then, I know it was really loud on like headphones. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry about that, chat. Like that was my B there. We'll just keep going forward, try and get the stamina refill if we can get it. I was thinking about getting the card because we had like the +5 like, or we have all these like 5 step ups and stuff like that. Does the audio sound good before you go? Because I saw I was redlining a little bit earlier. I see I'm redlining there a little bit. Does it sound staticky or anything? Or does it sound good just before you go? It does sound perfect. Okay. I thought it did from when I checked my replay. I turned it down just a little bit, but I was just worried. So thank you for letting me know. And thank you so much for stopping by. If you go on a break again or anything like that, please feel free to drop back in. Like I really, really appreciate it. I'm not going to ask you to like listen to me on your headphones while you're working because I know that's probably like that'd be like stupid. But thank you for stopping by. Well, thank you for saying that. But yeah, chat. Like we were saying, that's the main that's a big part of the reason. Also, like why I want to stream SAO tomorrow night is not just because like I want to see like where's this story gonna go and stuff like that, and you know get the new characters added to the party and stuff like that. Oh shit, I forgot to super evolve Franky, Sanji, and I forgot to check the supports. So we're gonna do that after clearing this map. I totally forgot about that, chat. Is so that we can I can have the freedom to like farm those SSCs if needed because I really want to see what those other katana moves are going to be. But it's funny, like I wanted to keep enough skill points to where like we could just go ahead and unlock all of them once we got the freedom. Like once we got it unlocked, we could just go ahead get the EX skill and unlock everything. But honestly, like with how many skill points we have now because it's taken so long to get to, the next time we play like tomorrow, since we're still leveling up two-handed sword, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna unlock the damned blade. I'm probably not gonna drop like a ton of skill points in it, but I'm gonna at least like unlock it and maybe get whatever passive there is, just so I can like have that buff and level it up. Just because like I was really interested in damn blade, and we're not in any kind of skill point issue right now. Like we have a lot of skill points that we can like cash out on whenever we do unlock the katana thing because we're going to keep unlocking it. And you get skill points, like you can get them from defeating an enemy if you don't know by chance, but you also get them as you level up affinity with like your EX skills and your weapon affinities. So unlocking the damn blade, like we'll get EX, we'll get skill points back, like just by having it equipped. And we still have so many weapons we haven't got to level 500. The only ones we've gotten to level 500 have been, I believe, rapier. I know one-handed sword, and I know katana. So one-handed sword, katana, and rapier, I know for a fact we got to 500. Two-handed sword we're close to, and scimitar I think we're at 250. So we still have like dagger we haven't even done, spear we haven't done, one-handed club we haven't done, and like what is it, like two-handed axe or something like that? I can't remember what the other weapon is. Like we haven't done any of those. I would love it if the DLC was like, I would love it if the DLC gave us a like a new weapon type. I think that would be really cool. Because I know I've said it before, but like I really wish they had scythes. I think that would be cool. Because of Mito had a scythe in SAO. So I think that would be really cool. Go ahead and like easily take out Ryokuyo here. Is that how you pronounce it? Ryokuyo? I'm trying not to say Green Bull. I'm trying to keep saying his like real name. Because we don't call Fujitora Purple Tiger, or we don't call like Aokiji Blue Pheasant. Like I want to actually call them by like their names. I don't want to just call everyone by their name and then call him like Green Bull. So I'm trying to get in the habit of like actually saying like one of his two names. I think it's like it's what like Ryokuyo or Arahamaki. Let's check here. It is Ryokuyo, and there it just says Ryokuyo again. I didn't realize this unit. I know they were a fake dual unit, but I did not realize they had a support. I see it was like nothing, but I haven't got to use him because I actually just picked him up in the I just got him going into this treasure map. I got Hot Springs Luffy, Ryokuyo, Honest Impact Kobe, and there was one more treasure map legend I was missing. I think I have all of them now except Tashigi. I can't remember off the top of my head who the other one was that I got. But I know I did get 4 TM legends. I can't remember who that fourth one was though, off the top of my head. But in addition to Roger and the Rocks Pirates, I did get those 4 TM legends. So I was pretty hyped about that. And a good bit of like dupes that I needed. Like I got like 2 more copies of like Oiran Yamato to help raise her what's it she had, Rush. And I got like a couple copies of some additional copies of the Sabo from New Year's. Help with his I believe he has Super Tandem, stuff like that. So I got like some really good like units like that I needed dupes of. I actually picked up Ace and Whitebeard too, so I was really happy to get them. I know from what I've seen of like the community, because like again I just got them. I know from what I've seen of the community, they're kind of like out of like the New Year's legends, they kind of got used the least. But I'm excited to try them out and like see how they're gonna like be, because they're not a bad unit. It's just that they were kind of like a test case for character tags, because they came out like right before character tags, and they had the benefits of like if you use Whitebeard commanders. So just as long as like more Whitebeard commanders and stuff's come out, like they're gonna be buffed. How crazy was that announcement last night though of it being Jenny with Dragon, Eva, and Kuma? And I know that's funny, like the community is all like, oh man, this is Dragon's first legend. This is so cool. Like it's Dragon's first legend, it's Dragon's first legend, it's Dragon's first legend. Well, sorry, it's not even Dragon's first legend. It's Dragon's first character unit in Treasure Cruise, period. Like, it's funny, like Dragon's in Logtown, right? So is and I'm talking about his first appearance. Dragon and Panda Man. I'm not even joking when I say this. Like, you think I might be doing a joke, but like, think about all the April Fool's events we've had. And we never had a Panda Man like event. Dragon and Panda Man are the oldest characters in terms of like first like scene that have no representation in Treasure Cruise. Isn't that funny? Like the fucking Mountain Bandit in Luffy's like village that Shanks and them fight, like he has a super evolution. Like his free to play character has a super evolution, and the local sea monster, he has like character representation. We don't have like Panda Man. Even that like anime only guy, what was his name? Like we got like, I think that was the April Fool's Day thing that Cordorion could, where like it was like a Navy guy, but Usopp had the straw hats like saying like Usopp like lying like, oh yeah, he was actually like one of us or whatever, so he got like thrown in the jail with them and stuff. It's like in an anime only thing. So I think like Panda Man's been robbed, boy. Panda Man should definitely be a unit. But still, though, chat, nobody's been robbed like my boy, like Caesar. And it's crazy. I saw this post yesterday where it said, which One Piece character do you hate the most? And it had, like, like the celestial dragon guy that Luffy punched. It had, like, God, what's Katakuri's sister's name? Flampe. It had Flampe in it. It had Treble in it and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I can see like how people don't like these characters or stuff like that. Now I'm not going to say that I hate Treble. I like Treble. I don't get really how people hate Treble. Like to me, like I just don't see how people hate Treble. To me, like he didn't use Dofi because Dofi already had so much hate in him anyway. Like Dofi was already evil. He just allowed Dofi to be evil and fostered his hatred more. Like he gave Dofi he gave Dofi the ability to enact his hate. I don't think like I don't get the hate on like Treble or stuff like that. But one character that was on there that I said, how do you hate like Caesar? Like, I really don't get how people hate Caesar. Maybe because of his weapons being used for the mink against the minks, but I'm like, then fucking hate Jack. Why would you hate Caesar? Like, I love Caesar. I think Caesar is phenomenal. We should 1000% have a Caesar legend. Like Caesar not being a main arc antagonist, like, or being a main antagonist of an arc, being a main antagonist of Punk Hazard, and not having that representation of a legend is crazy. Like, yes, as small as the Davy back fight is, or that actual place, what was it called, like Longland Island or something like that. There's still no Foxy legend. That's kind of crazy to me too. Like Foxy should definitely have a legend. I think he would be a perfect like. I think Foxy would be a perfect Rumble legend, and I think Caesar would be a perfect treasure map legend. So they both definitely need like representation as 6-star units in the game, absolutely. And Caesar would be phenomenal as a treasure map legend. Because think about having a treasure map legend that could like, every treasure map. Here's this unit that just like has a way to get rid of poison slots and poison like stuff. You don't run into that often, but there's no other treasure map legend right now that has a way of like dealing with it. So that kind of gives him that like benefit or something. And he could also like do like he could be a treasure map legend that is a guaranteed like conditional booster. Like he could poison the enemies through immunity, kind of like Magellan does, and give himself his own like poison conditional buff. Just stuff like that. Like they could easily put stuff in there that would give Caesar like stuff that would make him viable for every treasure map, make him like different from what we're already like the other treasure map characters don't have access to. Like I definitely think, and I know a lot of people in the community agree, that treasure map legends. Give me 1 second, chat. Sorry, after I finish my coffee here, I'm gonna have to get some water. Like obviously, coffee like dries your throat out. All I was trying to say is, like I like the treasure map legends. They have more value than like the other limited legends in the game. because them being boosted every treasure map is first of all that's a great benefit, but second, it's the fact that like the uniqueness that certain ones of them bring is just great to have every treasure map. A perfect example of that is Bon Clay. Bon Clay is phenomenal, being able to just give you whatever super type you want. He can fit on any team. Like, he's phenomenal. The treasure map legend Franky, he was the other treasure map legend that I was missing. I just got. He's boosted every single treasure map, and he prevents your crew from having blowaway. So there you go. Just having one unit like that boosted every treasure map, it's phenomenal. Like, blowaway's not a common debuff, but having that in there is great. Treasure map legend Stussy, in the way that she gets rid of bleed, again, not a common debuff, but having that in there is phenomenal. So that's what I mean, like being able to have like a treasure map unit, which is some kind of uniqueness that maybe like the other ones don't have yet, to further benefit your team. And that's why I think like Caesar would do great, being like a TM legend that just handles poison abilities like that. Like, he automatically removes poison. He automatically removes like poison slots and gives you like a conditional or something like that. I think that would be a really cool way to work Caesar into the game. That wouldn't be like game breaking or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and we'll evolve Sanji and Franky here. Just so we can get the added benefits of them. And I actually do want to check one thing real quick. So we go here to Sanji and Franky, the super evolved one. They will remove 4 turns of bind. I can't remember if that's how much they did before their super evolved. It might have been 3. But let's actually check how far we can level limit break them. Not too much further, so we'll just come back and do that later once they get to the end there. I mainly just wanted a double special launch for us to use it, but now I'm like, we're going to set some supports on there. So we need to remove like, what, 3 turns of it? What team was that? Here we go. So yeah, look, we have no supports on here that are doing anything, so we can just look for literally any support that removes bind. Stat spec reduction, bind. No, we actually got a lot of options here. Wait, what? Oh, I'm filtering by special, aren't I? Yeah. My mistake. There we go. Stat spec recovery, bind. Uses a special to change slots. Lock slots and reduces it by 1 turn. His special, is it a special or a super type that changes it? It's special. Okay, yeah. We can throw Luffy on there. So there's 1 turn. Let's see. Reiju reduces bind by 1. If you use your special, reduces it by 2. So there you go. That will be the 3. So we don't need to add any more because we're going to use our special once anyway. So wait. That wouldn't work with the Luffy support. I just realized because we have to use the special. Yeah, if support character uses their special, we can't use that one because it's the top row that's getting binded. So we need like one other one. So here we go. We can just throw this one on. Throw this one on her unless there's any other. No, okay. I just want to double check real quick, which is fine. Like, I'd rather have a statistical one on Bon Clay here anyway, since he's gonna have like the advantage and stuff. Gosh, sorry, chat. The damn thing got stuck again. This is gonna be the last little bit of my coffee anyway, and then we're gonna go get some water. Because trust me, you can tell I need it. This ice done caramel coffee is great. Discard one of these 5 so we can have 4. 5 is actually like the least valuable one because if you don't get it, you're gonna roll less than it. If you get what I'm saying, chat. So you would have another chance to get to that slot, or not slot, to get to that space on the board anyway. All right. A C chart. I'm gonna get rid of another one of these fives, just so we have like a little bit more variety here for any situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna actually use that 5 to go get that stamina refill in a second. But just give me 1 second, chat. I'm gonna go grab some water real quick, and I'll be right back, guys. Alright, chat, I'm back. Sure, okay, cool. My air server didn't like disconnect. Sorry for the noise if you hear it outside. It's like leaf blowers. Well, I actually forgot to use that 5 there, and we still got the stamina refill. We got a little lucky. I can go ahead and just use this, speed this up. So I did grab me some water and also cough drops. Yeah, like my throat is sore, boy. Are they going to like do an update or something, make it like easier to like get through these? When those things like pop up like that. Or am I tripping? Like I swear I remember like them saying that. If so, they need to like hurry it up. Like I appreciate the Chopperman missions, but like damn, it's aggravating. Like pressing like okay all in time and stuff like that. Grab me some more water. Trying to help my throat feel better. Sorry, chap. Oh, but yeah, like I was saying earlier, a lot of people in the community are saying like, "Oh man, this is like Dragon's first like legend and stuff like that." No, 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 no. That's small ball thinking. It's really my boy Eva's second legend, which is badass. Now that being said, I will not be pulling on that banner at all. I do think Dragon and damn, now y'all got me saying Dragon. I do think the Rev Army guys and Jenny, I think they're both good, but I just I'd rather like wait. That to me, they're not like I need to get this unit like right now. And you know me, chat. Like I'm a big bypass defensive effect like promoter. Like, I love bypass defensive effects. So I just I do see like both units are good. I don't know how good Jenny would be without Dragon in them. Like she is there like literally to be like the support to like help that unit, which you know there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of like legends that are made to enhance this other legend. No problem with that at all. I don't have any problem with that like gameplay wise at all. Like no, I think that's like cool like having like these characters that like pair together and stuff like that. But with her being like a normal legend, like I'm gonna go out my way to like pull her or anything. Like the one, if I was to pull, the one I'd be trying to get would be, you know, Dragon Eva Kuma. So it's just that like, yeah, they bypass defensive effects and stuff like that, but you only get the bypass defense effects if you have what was it, 5 Revolutionary Army units. So minimum one of yours, or a maximum one unit couldn't be a Rev unit army. A Rev army unit, I mean. Hey, how you doing, Miter? Just over here, just chilling, knocking out these TM runs, and was actually just in the middle of talking about the new Dragon and Ginny characters are coming out. But other than that, doing pretty good. Hope you're doing good. Had a little bit of a stressful week last week, but things are calming down this week, so hope everything's been good with you, man. Like, yeah, they remove or they bypass defensive effects, but you got to have the 5 Rev Army units to bypass defensive effects. Which that's not really a problem considering like there's cerebral focus and there's so many Robins and Sabos that are cerebral focus that do count towards that. Koala also. But when you filter by Rev Army tags, like it is missing like a good bit of them there. Oh shit! I actually popped these in the wrong order. I gotta close this check because we were gonna lose like our slots there. Let me restart that fight. Wasn't paying attention there. You think I should pull the new units? I wouldn't recommend it. That's kind of what I was talking about there. I think Jenny and Dragon are both good. Jenny is, I don't know how good she'd be without Dragon. She's really made to complement him, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with this game having like certain legends are literally just made to complement others, and that's fine. Like pairing up 2 units together, there's no issue with that. But with the way the character tag system is, like it is great, but there's so many units in the game that don't have their character tags yet. So for them to only get their bypass defensive effect when you have 5 units that have the Revolutionary Army character tag on your crew, that hurts them when there's other units that they just get bypass defensive effects basically for like free or like with less restrictions. So that's kind of like a big hit to them in my opinion. Because like y'all know me, chat, I'm a huge bypass defensive effects fan. Like I love it. It's one of like my favorite abilities. It's busted. But his is definitely nerfed in the fact that like you have to have those 5 units when there's so many characters in the game that don't have their character tags yet that should. Like I was trying to build a team the other day and like I knew like I need like a straw hat or something, and like I was looking at this Robin character. She didn't have any character tags. I went and looked at this Brooke character. He didn't have any character tags. And I'm like, damn, like we need to get these to like every character in the game. That would make Dragon like a lot better. But as he stands right now, like there just needs to be more Red Army units to come out to like help like give him like a bit of a buff. And since it's Dragon, Kuma, Eva, you couldn't even use Eva or Kumas with him either. Lost 400 gems to find Saturn. And made the error of choosing the Grand Line as treasure map. And now I have to build different teams. Don't understand why I can't use some units at all. Yeah, Grand Line, I wasn't too sure if Grand Line had character restriction, just because it's been like so long since I was in it. Also, I hate that like getting burned there to find like Saturn, but 400 gems should be 8 multis. That's not too bad considering like 30 is the guarantee, and I've been burnt before where I had to go to 30 to get a unit, and it feels terrible. Let me just put that out there. So getting Saturn in 8, not too bad. Not too bad. Less than 10, like I'm happy with less than 10. That's just me though. I'm happy with less than 10. But yeah, that's where like a lot of the treasure map like challenge comes in once you get to like the higher levels. Is yeah, you do have the crewmate restrictions on there. This one shouldn't be too bad for you. In terms, like, even though you do have the crewmate restrictions, it can be like tough. The good thing is though that every stage for this treasure map, since it's still like the 11th anniversary celebration, every character, regardless of their type and class, is getting 5 turns of cooldown, and you can still use the anniversary ship. So a ship, sockets, and the stage cooldown, every character, even if they're not boosted in the treasure map, will at a minimum have 12 turns of cooldown. So that should help make it like easier for like team building and stuff like that. Even though you do have their character restrictions, having that cooldown so you don't have to like stall or anything like that does make it like a bit easier for you. Because it is hard to kind of stall on treasure map anyway. If you need to, especially when you're fighting like the final battle rush boss, or you're fighting the either the final battle rush boss or the intrusion boss. Those ones are, it's like almost impossible to like stall. You can maybe get 2 turns off of the turtles at the start, but that's it. Try to build all the teams, but can you help me build them better? I can try. Yeah, I can give you some suggestions like while like the stream's going on to try and like help you like figure out what's going on. To try and help you like get some teams set up for you. The good thing is Grand Line is not New World, so just remember it could be tougher. Like the it could be more brutal, so it shouldn't be too hard. Like yes, you do have that character restriction, but if I'm remembering correctly, the numbers and stuff should be like obviously their health's going to be lower, but the specific debuffs they put it shouldn't be like as egregious in terms of like if it's 6 turns of bind, it might be like 4 turns or something like that. You know what I mean? Go ahead and like pop all these specials so we can just take out Kizaru here and be off to the races onto our next one. But yeah, I can definitely like give you some suggestions what's going on. Can clear it even without removing the debuffs. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because like for some of them, like if it's like better if you can remove it. Always, yeah. Yeah, for some it's like if it's defense, like just for example, if it's increased defense, the numbers for what that enemy will increase its defense, not the turns, the actual defensive increase, will be like lower too. So yeah, sometimes you can just like blow through the enemy because like running like lower stages of like PKA, like when you're farming turtles, sometimes like you don't have to worry about like removing like certain debuffs because you can just plow through the enemy anyway. Special reverse and special bind, and by blowout you mean like blow away. There shouldn't be any that you would run into in this treasure map that inflict blow away. I didn't see any when I was team building, so none of the bosses should do blow away. Now I don't know if you're running into blow away on like the second turn of like fighting a boss, because ideally you want to KO every boss like in one turn. That's why I don't know like what if like they do blow away on a second turn or anything like that. But you shouldn't have to worry about blow away. So that one, like, there shouldn't be any issues there. I'm trying to think of which one has like. I know special bind is on like one of these dudes here. Is it this fight that has special bind? Yeah, final stage special bind on this one. Yeah, because that's what you're using like Roger for, is to remove the special bind. Does this chopper remove special bind? Now I run a map, and then when I come across a fight that I'm stuck, I'll tell you. Yeah, definitely, yeah. No, that chopper. Oh, yeah, that chopper removes attack down and poison. That's why, like, he's recommending here just like someone to get rid of. I get what they're doing there, but I guess if you don't have Saturn, that chopper is a good way to like get rid of those slots for you. I'm picking up what I was putting down. All right, let's go ahead and grab friend captain real quick. Yeah, like I said, Miter, I can definitely do the best in my ability to try and help you like formulate a team, and if I can't specifically help you, I can definitely try and get you in the right direction. So we'll see what we can get going like while we're streaming. Can't understand why you can't use a certain friend captain, like if it's like redded out or anything like that, or you can't specifically find one. Because if it's like redded out, like if it's a red space over them, it's because they're in one of your teams that you've used already. So since you do have like the team building restriction, essentially in treasure map, you do need not counting like East Blue, like once you get like into where you have that crewmate restriction. Wait, who do I need to use here? Just so I'm not like tripping. Oh, yeah. Stussy first, then my boy here. Go ahead and like clear the stage so I don't like mess up. Use them one time, can't choose them the second time. Yeah, that's the like team building restriction like in place there. Essentially when you do treasure map past like well, I can use the same unit as captain in one team. Don't understand why I can't use the same unit as captain in one team and then as crewmate in another. It's that like yeah, it's the team building restriction they have in treasure map. That's one of the things that I like. So treasure map is like I said before, it's my favorite game mode. I love it because I love like I do like this is just me personally. I love the team building aspect of treasure map. Like that's why this is the only game mode where I do make my own teams. I don't like go find teams that someone else made and then kind of like plug in play like my own units to see if I can increase the damage. These ones I just straight up I just look at the TM planner and build like my teams myself because it's a fun like challenge to me. It's just super enjoyable for me to like figure out like the basically like the game mechanics and how it works and everything and just see like what kind of interesting, unique, and like fun teams kind of build to like tackle this the best way possible. Now that's where it can get tougher though, obviously if you're like earlier in the game because if your character box isn't as established, because essentially to get through a treasure map run past East Blue with the character restriction stuff in play is you would need at a minimum 25 characters in your character box. And what I mean by that is, like you said, if you do the first battle rush fight, let's just say like you fight the first fight here, and once we get up here to like, looks like Ryokujo, I can like better explain once we get like our team planner, our actual teams like pulled up, I mean in front of us once we get up here to them. So let me just get these rolls real quick so it'll be easier to explain. Nice, we got the C chart there, so 100% that we can get the 4 levels added to our runs here. Nice, take those hunger tablets. Take that. Alright, as soon as I can get here, like I can explain. And we roll one, so it's taking a while, but I'll take the ink bottle. Alright, cool. So now that we're here, so it's going to go ahead, all the characters then I put in the team are level 1 and special level 1. Yeah, so they might need to be like level up here. Like you see like this Mihawk that I have here, he's level 1 and level 1, or he's level 1 and special level 1 because like I'm not using him at all. He's literally only here for points for me. Like he doesn't have any synergy with this team at all. He's literally just there for points. Everybody else carries the weight of it and like clears this for me. So he's just there just for points for me. But you definitely can't run your whole team like that. I get what you mean. Like if you're running like low on characters, it can get like tougher like that. But basically, with the character restriction, what I mean by you would need at a minimum 25 characters is you would need the 5 for this team, the 5 for this team. That can't be the same. 5 for this team, 5 for this team, 5 for this team, and then your intrusion fight is free. So the intrusion fight in general is the toughest one. So that's why there's no restriction on it. You should definitely build the boss and intrusion team first because they're the toughest one. That's how I always do it. Is the intrusion fight, I probably build last. This is just me, just because like they usually are the toughest one and you don't have that restriction. But I definitely build the boss one first because they're the toughest one and work my way usually backwards because I usually get it easier. The first one is always the easiest. In every treasure map, the first one is just a gimme. Because this treasure map, all units are getting those 5 turns of cooldown like I mentioned. But in every treasure map, they'll be like past this one, since it's not like an anniversary thing. There will be restrictions in terms of like only slashers, fighters, free spirits get cooldown. And then a next fight, like it could be like only strength, dex, quick get 5 turns of cooldown. So that then it can get tougher. Like they're not doing that this one because it's an anniversary one. So that can make it tougher, like going on in the future, by the way, just to let you know. And you won't have the anniversary ship, so it can become even more restrictive, so to speak. So that it can get tough there. But I would definitely recommend building from the boss first and then work your way backwards. Because like versus Fujitora here, he only inflicts bind, so that's literally all you need, just one unit to remove bind. And as long as like you have as many fighters as you can, you get the buffs you can get, you should have no problem taking him out. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I would just like work my way backwards from there. Is I would just start from here and then just go back. And I didn't even know who we were fighting here. We're fighting Ryokujo. Yeah, give me like 1 second. It can definitely like catch you off guard for the first time when you do it. Like you can definitely get caught off guard when you're like running into it the first time and you see that character restriction. Sorry, I'm trying to like... Just trying to, this is speed. What captain should you put? Give me like 1 second. I'm just double checking here to see if I can like find a way to like make it as easy as possible for you. Damn, bro, just show the teams. Yeah, that's actually not going to help there. Give me 1 second here. Just trying to do you have while I'm like looking for the resource I'm trying to find, do you have the Rocks Pirates or Roger Rayleigh Gabon, the new Roger Rayleigh Gabon? I would I'd probably save the gems then, yeah, if because there's no guarantee like you would get them or anything like that. I would just save the gems. Just give me 1 second, try and search like one more thing for you. Dude, come on, man. This is not working for me right now. Okay, just checking for you, see if I can. See if I can find you like any teams. I got you right here. This is check this resource I just sent you, because I've used some Kazuna teams from Marcus Manson here before. He's a very good like team builder. He usually gives like a lot of variety in his teams, from like super boosted units all the way to like free to play teams if like possible for him. So I would check that resource I just sent you there, because he has 6 teams specifically for the boss. He has another video I saw in there of 6 teams specifically for the intrusion. I see you said you think you've done the boss and intrusion teams. I would check with like what he has set up there. Now the teams that he's building for are going to be like New World teams. So again, like I was saying, it should be easier to sub in any units that you don't have, because the gimmicks won't be as egregious in yours. So I would definitely like recommend checking that right there, just to see like, okay, here's what, because like if you said you think you've already done like the boss and intrusion teams, I would say like look at like what you have, check it with like the teams that he have, see like the kind of like page you're on, because basically like without me specifically seeing your character box, it is going to be hard to suggest, just because I would say your best avenue without having Roger, Rayleigh Gabon, or the Rocks Pirates, which again I wouldn't advise with the situation you're in. I wouldn't suggest pulling for them, but again, like, you know, it's up to you. It's your box, like whatever you like. You would think like you want to do stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend doing it. I would definitely say save the gems. I would say probably your best bet might be to build around a unit that can remove, or not remove, bypass defensive effects. Might be like your best option there. Or build the best striker team that you could build in terms of like whatever striker captain you have. And because you do have Saturn, so Saturn can remove the rainbow shield that you would need for one of the stages. Now you just have to be careful. The one boss fight, you can remove Rainbow Shield, and one of them being like the boss fight and the intrusion fight. One you can remove Rainbow Shield, one you get punished for if you don't, so just make sure like you're doing the right one. So I would just say as long as you can build the best striker team you can, which will probably have Saturn involved as your captain, I would imagine. Since you do have him, that is good. I would then take, like, when you're fighting Kizaru, take a friend captain Rocks Pirates because you need them for the Kizaru fight. And when you're building for versus the Intrusion, take a friend captain Roger Rayleigh Gabon because you need them for the Intrusion fight. I think just starting off with that, you shouldn't have too many problems going from that point forward, if that makes the most sense. Because then you shouldn't really have to worry about bypassing defensive effects. Because you're going to get the main defensive effect for that stage removed by your friend captain. And in the one fight where you do get hit with both of them, Saturn should be able to help you out by removing the Rainbow Shield. As long as you have whichever one removes Threshold. I can't remember off the top of my head if it's Rocks or Roger, but as long as you're running like the specific unit as a friend captain that's needed for that stage, you should be good to go, if that makes sense. Also, yes, there is the character restriction, but your friend captain doesn't count in that if it's the same stage. So that's how you can see I'm like doubling up on Bond Clay here. And actually every fight, except for the boss fight and the intrusion fight, I am doubling up on the captains. Also, the team building aspect, like the character restrictions there, doesn't apply for support. So you can use any character that you've used already, you can use them as a support, and any support you can use multiple times. Like, so you don't have that to worry about in there also. Go ahead and pop Franky Sanji here. But yeah, now that I'm like getting like, I wanted to be able to find you the best resource I could because my teams are so far like heavily boosted that like it would probably take me a while off like looking at them to start just building a new team. Like, you know what I'm saying? And with the event already started, I want to make sure I can get you like team set up as soon as possible for you so you can continue like grinding and stuff like that. That's why I was like, I know there's somebody out there who had to have made some kind of teams that just aren't like all the heavy boosters. Because I got lucky that I got Rocks, Roger, Kaido, Stussy. So I was like, I know like there's some people though that obviously didn't pull on this, and I don't think everybody should pull on this banner. It's up to, you know, your account that you have like set up. So I was like, I know there's somebody out there who definitely has put together a team that's like, here's if you didn't get any of those. So a big shout out to my man Marcus. I have Kaido and King Red. If you mean like unable to select them, it should be only if you used Kaido and King as a friend captain, or if they're on another team. That should be the only reason why they'd be redded out. Or if you're unable to select them, it could be if you have a Kaido or King unit on there. Even as support, you won't be able to take like another one. That's the only thing I can think of. Can't put them on the team, but it's red. Which fight is it for? And you double check to be sure like you don't have Kaido and King on versus Fujitora. Let me clear through this fight and I'll like check here. And you don't have them on any of your other teams or anything like that, and you haven't fought anybody with them yet, obviously, like if you're building that. Oh, got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like if you had used them, started building them after you had done a fight, then yeah, that's why they'd be redded out. No worries though. Yeah, I hope that made sense. What I was trying to say about like I wanted to get you the most accurate and quickest information I could get you, since like I spent like before the event I spent like a while like building my teams. I was like, wait a minute. My teams are so heavily boosted. I would just have to scrap them and like just start over and just see like, okay, we're both matching on Saturn. But then that could probably cause me to have to rebuild like other teams for you, because I'd probably have to pull units from those other ones. Also, I was like, I know there's somebody out there who, because I've been in the other situation where this just happened to be one where I pulled and I got all the units. There's been plenty where I had none of the units, plenty of treasure maps where I've had none of the units, and I've had to say, hey, here's a full team to get through this without any of the boosted units. Most treasure maps, if you go back and see like my other stuff, I will build teams without any of the boosted units, because a lot of the times I don't pull. A TM is the only banner outside of Super Sugo Fest I will pull on, and it just has to be the debuting TM legend has to be like, I have to see that value in them instantly, because TM legends like in general are the most value limited legend. They're definitely better than Kazuna Legends. They're definitely better in regular content than Rumble Legends. That goes without like saying, and stuff like that. And them being boosted every TM. They usually have good, unique stuff about them that makes them crucial, or not crucial, but like beneficial to have every month. So that's why like I usually do like pull on. If I pull outside of Super Sugo Fest, it would be a TM one, but it had to be like a debuting like TM Legend would have to be like really freaking good. Like I didn't on Tashigi, like just thinking of like a recent one, but I did go to 3 multis on Buggy trying to get him, because I can immediately see like, whoa, Buggy's like really good to have for like every TM. Like I really want him. So, but usually like that's not every time that I'm doing that. I made all the teams using the character that removed the debuffs and then filled with boosted units. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. It's like I was saying, that team that I had like Mihawk on the other one, like he was just there literally just for points. Like Monet here, she's just there for points. Like yeah, she gives like resistance down, but she's literally like just here for points. Like oh, she gets chain multiplicative buff too, but she's just there for points. Like it's no biggie. Like as long as you have like you're able to remove each of the gimmicks, and then yeah, just get whatever like point boosters you can have on there, you're good to go. And as long as like I would say you have at a minimum, especially like you can put anyone as the friend captain unless you use them in a fight beforehand. So like all my Reddit out units here, I couldn't take as a friend captain, if that makes sense. So that's why I double up on my friend captains, just because like unless I have to hybrid, I'll double up on my friend captains, just because like that essentially saves me a unit that I could use later on. Now that's not to say sometimes I don't have to hybrid a captain. Like this is just the way Treasure Cruise is now. Like hybrid meta is a big thing, which I actually like. I like having 2 different specials and stuff like that. But obviously in Treasure Map, you're trying to save like the units you have for like later. So you can use anyone as your friend captain. I would recommend like probably doubling up just to save that another unit for a different fight. But for versus Kizaru and versus Sanji and Franky, I would recommend using the friend captain that is preferred for that one. So for this one versus Kizaru, your friend captain should absolutely be the Rocks Pirates if you can get them. And for Sanji and Franky, your friend captain should absolutely be Roger. You can use a friend captain 2 times in a row. No. What I was trying to say is double up as in like your captain being the same as your friend captain. So you're doubling up on that unit, that run, if you get what I'm saying. That's what I meant by like doubling up on versus a hybrid. Like if you took like say, well here this would be a hybrid team I'm about to run now because I'm running Rox and Roger as my captain and friend captain. Instead of doubling up on them, I meant would be like if I ran like Roger and Roger. So you couldn't use a friend captain like 2 times in a row, like in 2 different stages. I just meant like if you were using like the same character for that specific fight. So if I was using Rox and Rox versus using Rox and Roger, so to speak. This is the right team, right, that I'm using here. Yeah. So that's what I meant. Just using double of the same captain for that fight. That's that's why I would recommend if you can do it for the fights, just so that way you're only using really 5 units because your friend captain is like kind of like a +1 because it's duplicating that one, and then that locks you out of 5 units for the next fight. Versus if you use a hybrid captain, that's 6 units. Now there's 6 characters you can't take into the rest of the treasure map. You get what I'm saying? Like I know it probably sounds like super confusing, and I do apologize for that. It's just like my wife always talks about like how Treasure Cruise seems so confusing, and it is. I know like Totski talks about that too, saying like Treasure Cruise is a confusing game to get into, just because like the layers that like they've built on this stuff. Like yeah, this is 11 year anniversary. They built this in there for 11 years. So it's like if you're jumping in now, if anybody's jumping now, or even if you like leave for a little bit and then come back, you can be like, wait, what is this new thing? You know what I mean? Like it's funny. Like it's funny how like stuff like to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, like blah, 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 like that. But then I start thinking about like from someone who like, okay, if they didn't play Treasure Cruise, they'd be like, what in the hell is this that I'm like looking at? I kind of had like a moment like that day or so ago when I was on YouTube. I posted my TM teams, and I was trying to explain to someone why you would want to take this one unit over another unit for the teams. And after I typed it up and read it, I was looking at it and I was thinking like, man, if you didn't play Treasure Cruise, this would just seem like it would make no sense at all. Like it was just very funny. I had that moment where I was like reflecting there, looking at like this is really like just nonsense I'm typing up. All right, let's go ahead and knock out like Pacifista here. All right, now for my boy Kizaru. I was it this fight I was thinking about Kizaru on? No, I was thinking about taking Kizaru on the intrusion boss fight to try and help with the chain stuff, but then I changed my mind because I remember like you can't get Roger, Rayleigh, and Gabon's class advantageous effect unless you have 6 slashers or 6 strikers. So that kind of like messes my team building like a little bit there because I'm like, well, damn, like I'm kind of stuck by having like I have to have 6 strikers. I only have 5 right now, so that kind of like messes me a little bit there. So that's why like I just threw Saturn on like I needed Saturn on whichever one you get poison slots on, but I just threw him on this one because I was like, whatever, like he'll give me like some kind of advantage or something. And he'll give me like an attack buff on like the second stage, so. What do we get streaming for? Make sure I close this out. I'm back in. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would definitely say like just be aware like next treasure map. It's more than likely going to go back to how it was before, like since this is the second and last 11th anniversary one. Because starting with Dragon, it's going to start like the 11th anniversary after party stuff. Um, it's going to go back to how it was before. Of not every team is going to get 5 turns of cooldown regardless. It'll be like that for the first one, but then afterwards, literally every other fight and the intrusion fight should go back to you're going to need like strength dex quick will get 5 turns of cooldown, nobody else will, or like 3 classes will get cooldown, nobody else will. So with that being said, I would probably say I wouldn't think it'd be a bad idea about grinding the East Blue League. Now you can definitely like before the event, like see what the um what am I trying to say? Like the gimmicks will be and see like how hard would it be to make like those 5, 6 individual teams. Because I don't know if you've seen the Treasure Map Planner website, but the Treasure Map Planner website is literally like the best Treasure Cruise resource, not just for Treasure Map, but literally like in general, because it has the best like support unit filter. Period. Like it is so easy to like find supports and stuff like that. Like literally faster than it is in game and like better than it is in game. Like I'll literally go like yeah, it is only for New World. You're right, you're right. I forgot about that. You can't change like your difficulty on there. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so you wouldn't know like what it would be for like Grand Line and stuff like that. I didn't even think about that. That you can still like glance at the treasure map planner though website though just to see like a hint at what the gimmicks would be, because again like for New World, or yes, it'd be New World only, but you would know like okay, well Grand Line this possibly would be like less turns of binder, stuff like that, like I'm saying. But at a minimum it should show you like what the cooldowns would be, like I was talking about, like so you can know like okay, this team would need like slashers, cerebral, free spirit units. How good are like my like teams I could build like with those classes? You know what I mean? Like just give you like an idea of it. I would probably say it's not a bad idea though to stay with East Blue, because the best thing about being in the East Blue and the benefit to it over the others is you can just literally take whatever your 5 highest point boosted units are, put them together, and just go through and like get like clear the treasure map that way and just use that team repeatedly through all of them. That is a huge benefit of it. And the good thing about like being in East Blue and being able to easily clear like that, and I think this would be a good recommendation also, like possibly staying there, is you're getting through the treasure map so fast that you're just constantly like clearing and running through and like picking up treasure chests along the way. Because I'm sure like with where you are right now, like you really need the limit break materials. So and treasure maps is the best place to farm the limit break materials. So I think like that would be like a good like benefit too in that regard. It would just make it the most easiest for you to like farm as much materials as you can to like help you out to level up the characters that need it and stuff like that. I would also say the link that I sent you for those TM teams there, Marcus's YouTube. Definitely recommend like just keeping that like around and like his channel around. I mean, because like I said, he does really good for like every event of providing a variety of teams with like a variety of different like here's like if you have like the boosted units or maybe like 1 or 2 of the boosted units, maybe just the new legend, maybe just the rare recruits, or if you have like none of them, you just have like free to play characters, stuff like that. He's really good at providing like a variety of like different teams and like stuff like that for different events. Like I've used some of his teams on the recent like Kazunas, and so I always give him like a shout out for like any team that I like get from his and say like how I tweaked it or changed it in any way. But because again, like I only team build for a treasure map, just because of like how much I like enjoy it and like it. The other ones, just because of other stuff that I have like going on, like life and stuff like that, I don't necessarily have like the freedom to like build my own teams for every event and stuff like that. So I kind of just save that like for treasure map and stuff like that. But I always give like shout outs and show love to the other people in the communities that in the community that build teams and stuff like that. I saw I did have some other comments on YouTube asking about as of today, asking about like some like swap outs for these like teams here. Like someone said like the only unit they were missing was like Luchikaku, how to replace them. So I'm going to try and respond to those because literally like subbing out one unit, I can usually figure out pretty easily because like Luchikaku are literally only there for like color affinity. So like literally you can just replace them with like a support or anybody that's going to give you color affinity. So like little stuff like that, but let me see here. Where is Rocks Pirates? We're gonna stream a little while longer, probably like another like 30-ish, 35, 40 minutes. Just because I can't stream as long today. I do have some stuff I'm gonna have to take care of this afternoon, but I'm not gonna be jumping on the stream right now. It's just gonna, like I said, it's gonna be another like 40, 45-ish minutes around there. So no worries though. We're just gonna like just keep chilling and hanging. Other than that, Miter, all that stuff being said, I hope you've had like a good week and not just a good week, a good like month. Because last time we were hanging on stream was during the Kazuna. So yeah, I hope you're doing good since then. Like I said, myself, it's been a hectic past like almost 2 weeks. Just had some stressful things going on and stuff, so take care of, but could be better. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I totally get that, man. I'm gonna send some good energy your way, though, man. All right, let's go ahead and go fight Kizaru. Oh gosh. Who's popping here? Kaido. God, I'm like blanking like crazy. I don't know why. Like my brain just all over the place today. I have been having like some terrible sleep though because of the stress, like and stuff. It's been really, really, really like catching me in. And I think like that's what's had me like sitting here being like at some points like, wait, what do I need to activate and stuff like that. But no, like I always say, like streaming and stuff like really does help like with the stress and stuff like that, and like helps like keep me calm and like clear my head and give me more like focus and stuff like that. Because it's definitely been like a crazy week though, but things are like looking better and like stuff like that. So just some disclosure about like going like too heavy into stuff. Basically, it's just a stressful week just because in my family, one of my family members had a variety of medical appointments and like tests that we had to go to. I had to take them to last week, and just awaiting the results on them. It's been like, very, very stressful when you have stuff like that going on in your family. And we have like, we're done with all appointments until we have another one set up next month, and just waiting on some more answers from that. So yes, it is stressful waiting like another like 20-ish 25 days for another appointment, but it's not as stressful in a way, because we were literally like last week like going like it was like every day we had like 1 to 2 doctor's appointments like we were going to, and like that like really grates on you, chat. So, and in addition to that, like I had my own physical therapy appointments for like my back and stuff like that, so that obviously like gets you like really high strung. What happened was just basically like in my family, well, without going into like too much detail, um, basically like my wife had to go to a variety of different doctor's appointments to see like what was going on with some health issues she was having. Like we got COVID. We both got COVID a little over a month ago, probably like closer to 2 months now. And then after getting like COVID, she kept getting sick afterwards. And I know that like lowers your immune system, and like she works in an office, so she's around a lot of people. So she got sick like 2 times in a row, and her lymph nodes wouldn't like go down, so it's causing her like a lot of pain in her throat and neck. Her like her some days like her neck would literally like be like locked in place, like she couldn't turn because it was hurting so bad. So we just had to go to like doctor's appointments. Like she just went to go see like, hey, is it an infection or anything? And she had to get like some tests and stuff like that. And the thing is that after getting the test, when they looked at it, they saw like, yeah, you don't seem to have an infection, but yeah, your lymph node shouldn't be that swollen for so long and stuff like that. So we had to get her like various other tests on her throat to see like basically like what does it look like just to see like why is it swollen like this, why is it not going down or anything like that. And the worry was they were saying like we can't tell after the test we've got done, we can't rule out if it's cancerous or anything like that. Or so that's what we're like worried about, and that's what the follow-up is in the next like month, is just to get like kind of like a final test that will give us like a conclusive answer of is this cancerous or not. So yeah, it's definitely like it was definitely like I can say a stressful week. And thank you again, Miter, for sending like the empathy and stuff like that. I greatly appreciate that, because yeah, it was a very stressful time for like me and my wife and like our family in general, because like obviously like our extended families were like very worried and stuff like that. So hopefully like everything's okay like once we go get that like final appointment at this or early next month, and hopefully like not just everything's okay, but like we'll get an answer as to what it is, and we can be like done, and like she'll be okay and everything. Because yeah, it was it's just it's very stressful, like very 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 stressful. My wife is like my best friend. She's the strongest person I've ever known in my life. So like seeing the like stress that it caused her, really like kind of like that's what hurt me the most, was because like I've never seen my wife like so like so worried, because obviously like I have the rods in my back from when I broke my back over 10 years ago. So I have like my own like health problems with my back and my hip that I just have to deal with every day. And I've mentioned this on stream before, but you might not have. Might not mention on stream that you were on like Miter, but from when I broke my back, basically every day like I have to work on my back, so to speak. I have literally like I have to spend an hour and a half to 2.5 hours every single day exercising or if I don't exercise a day, I have to go like walk like for that time period just to make sure like I'm constantly like having like um keeping my body like loose so it doesn't tighten up, or I don't get like any problems with like degenerative disc, arthritis, stuff like that, like in my back or hip, from where I have like the rods and like the fusion surgery. So going through that with me like every day for like the over 11 years that me and my wife have been together, her seeing that and her being so strong and like always lifting me up, always being like a big like, boost to me, and like always helping me like keep going every single day, like keep going like fighting and stuff like that, to then see like how much this affected her, like that's what hurt me the most, because like I said, like she's the strongest person I've ever known in my life. And I could see like, I mean, you didn't have to be like Einstein to see like just like how worried she was sometimes and how like sad she was. So it was heartbreaking to me, man. Like I did everything I could to like be there for her, and like didn't let her go to like the appointments alone. Was like right there with her and stuff like that. Because yeah, she's my wife, but she's my best friend. Like she means like a lot to me, and I know that probably like sounds like, well, yeah, it's your wife, but it's hard for me to explain. So it's definitely been not the best like past week. I will say like after the weekend though, we were kind of done with all the appointments up until like we had the new one. So it has been better every day. It's been a lot more like calmer, not as tense. Like yeah, we still have the waiting, but like at least like we know like, hey, we're waiting for that final resolution like appointment. So that in and of itself is like really like comforting to see. So but yeah, other than that, like other than that, literally everything else has been like. Well, it's funny, like I was about to say, other than that, like everything else has been like good and stuff like that. But it's like as I was saying, I started thinking like, damn, like what else is there? Like, did we do anything else last week? Like I don't remember doing anything else except like literally after all that, like Sunday, we got some food to like celebrate and stuff. Because what's funny, Miter, is like no joke, this happened literally like the same week and stuff. Like no joke, no joke. 2 days before like our 11th like anniversary being together, our sixth wedding anniversary, like this happened. So like we were gonna be like celebrating, like having like this stuff planned, like going out to eat like a couple times during that week, stuff like that, and just like going out, like stuff we had planned to do. And then this happened. It's just like whoa, put like a halt to everything. So Sunday was like the first time we were really kind of able to like actually do something for our wedding anniversary and our just our anniversary in general. So that was actually kind of like peaceful. So it is like getting back to like not just normal, but a lot of like good energies like coming back into the home, so to speak. But no, like for real, like you saying like you yourself saying could be better. I like I said, I'm sending big positive energy your way. What do I do as a job? Honestly, like what I do for a job is I would say a variety of things. I don't have like a job I don't like clock into or stuff like that. So basically, because of my hip and back issues, I have I'm a house husband, so I take care of like the cats, literally everything around the house, from like all the cleaning stuff like that. Just keep the house running so that she doesn't have to worry about any of that. In addition to being a house husband, streaming, making the videos for YouTube, and also am a freelance graphic designer and digital artist. So I have a Patreon where I make digital art, and I also will make like digital art and graphic design on like commission. I actually haven't done a graphic design like thing in a while, but I do the digital art where like I'll do like fan art and drawing stuff like that all the time. Like the drawings that you see on my like Be Right Back screen and like starting soon. Like those I drew. That's my artwork on there. So that's what I mean. Like I don't have like a structure job. All I'm trying to check is like how far do I level up. So I don't have like a job that I like clock into and stuff like that. I just basically like have this freedom to like do these kind of like things, like being a house husband, working like from home on in terms of like graphic design and stuff like that, so that way I have the freedom to like work when I'm able to work and rest when I'm able to, when I need the rest. Because breaking my back over 10 years ago, it goes without saying, certain complications arise from that. And like there's sometimes where like, I've pulled something in my back or something like that, and I'm like, I can't do anything. Like literally can't do anything other than like lay down for like several days. So that's why like I just had to be careful with my like hip and back. And certain things that like may seem like so normal to people are tougher for me in general, or not possible for me, if that makes sense. So that's why like thankfully like now that I think about it, or sorry, what I'm trying to say is like putting it that way. I like both read your message while I was trying to talk. That's why I got the same words there. Funny enough. I'm really blessed that like just the relationship that me and my wife have. Like, yeah, she's my wife, she's my best friend, she's also like my partner, like my teammate. Like we had this like dynamic where we work together like this, where she works hard at like her job to help support us. I work hard in the stuff that I'm doing and work hard and like taking care of the house, so that she doesn't have to worry about like that kind of like home stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like strengths cover weaknesses. I always talk about and always say stuff like that. And she's there for me like in any way that I need her, and I'm there for her in any way that like she needs me. So that's just like part of like how like our relationship like built. Like we're friends. Yes, we're husband and wife, but we're also like a team in everything that we do. So that's just how like we are and stuff like that. Now that I think about it, I don't have a single problem in my week, but I'm so used to say it could be better. You made me realize it. Thank you. I'm sorry for you and your wife. Oh no, it's no worries. Hey, it's funny like you saying like you always say it could be better. I always say like, hey, it is so funny. I always say when people say like, how are you doing? I always say like, could be worse, because like my brain goes back to like, it's funny for me to say this, but like it's not funny in the situation. But I can just, I guess like other people think like it's not that light of a situation, but because it happened to me and stuff like that, I can like see it now. Hindsight's like 2020. I'll say like, oh man, it could be worse, because I'll start thinking about like when I've like pulled my back or something like that, and like I couldn't move. So I'm like, hey, if I'm up like just able to do my normal stuff, then hey, that's it's pretty good for me like this week. You know what I mean? But yeah, a big thing is that like I said, the streaming helps like a lot. Anytime like I have like any stress or anything like that, the streaming helps like just clear my mind and like get it like going, engaging with people and stuff like that. Like sometimes like my mind can get like so overloaded with stuff that again, the digital art and the drawing and stuff like that, like that really helps like clear my mind and stuff like that, just like streaming does too. The only thing is I can't stream indefinitely because of like my back and hip. Like literally when I was playing Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon earlier this week, the last like 20 or 30 minutes of the stream, I'm like trying to like be on and just trying to like be like, going like I always am, like be on as in like engaging. Because like I'm big on, even if I have like nobody viewing right then, I'm still gonna be like what people would say like riffing, or like just just being myself, just like engaging. Because when I'm on Twitch, if I'm looking for a stream, I'm not just going to stop on somebody who's quiet. So I'm always going to be like just engaging, even if nobody's there. And I'm backing my streams up to YouTube anyway. So there's some people that if they miss a streams, like they could still go watch the full playthrough. So that's why I'm always engaging. But the last like 20, 30 minutes of Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon this week, I'm sitting here like thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, dude, this freaking game, please God, in this cutscene right now, my back is fried right now. Like, I was in so much pain, and I just feel like my face was probably so funny because I feel like I was just grimacing because I'm like, dude, I gotta like get up and lay down. Like, will this like cutscene like hurry the hell up? I said, of course, just my luck, I beat this boss, and I just happen to be playing a Final Fantasy, so this cutscene is, like, long as hell. Like, I swear, I was in a cutscene for, like, 20 minutes just sitting there, like, just going, like, all right, just trying to be me, and I'm like, damn, I can only be me for so long. We gonna wrap this up or what? Like... It's funny you saying like you notice that and like saying like it's amazing. My best friend in real life, he tuned into like my first stream, and no joke, Miter. He said like that was your first. This is your first stream. He's like, you seem so natural, and like I told him I was like, I think it's because like I've been watching like Let's Plays and stuff since I was in like high school, and I just kind of absorbed like, hey, that's how, like, if you're going to do this, that's like how you are, like you just keep a constant like rhythm and like monologue and stuff like that going. So it's funny, like I think I just absorbed that the same way like I learned like cooking like from my family. Like I never had like a recipe or anything like specifically from my family, but I learned so much like cooking stuff that I do now, like when I make meals for like me and my wife, just from like being literally in the vicinity of my grandma making food in the kitchen and my grandpa like cooking food on the grill. I learned how to grill and like cook without them having to like directly teach me, but just being around it. It's like I absorbed that information of like all my years of like watching like other people let's play. Like I've learned like, oh yeah, you just don't think stuff, say what you're thinking, like just project what's on your mind so you're always having something going. So I think that was like a big part of it. Like just kind of like I pick up a lot of stuff through like osmosis. Like I really learn stuff a lot that way, just in general. And I'm like a visual learner too. All my like digital art stuff I taught myself. Like just doing like if I couldn't figure it out on my own, like I try and figure stuff out on my own. Then I'll go look up answers if I can't do it. I taught myself literally Photoshop when I was like learning graphic design. And if I couldn't figure out how to do it on my own, I would go like look up how to do it and then learn it. So I think you have so much potential, and I think you can become a really big streamer. Thank you, man, so much for saying that. It's so funny. Like it's so funny. Like I do not brag about myself. I get like really anxious about stuff like that, and I try not to like I always say like even when I'm saying stuff to like people like really close to me, like my wife or like my family, like I'll say like, hey, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but you know this happened or like this, like I'll say stuff like that. I don't know why, it just like makes me like feel like awkward, like I don't like boasting about me or stuff like that. Sometimes it just makes me just feel like kind of funny, so to speak. So but what I was trying to say is a lot of people I've engaged with that are like close friends of mine or people I'm like friends with on Discord, for our fighting game Discord, they'll be like, yeah, you have a lot of like, you're very like personable and have like a big personality while you're like streaming. And to me, like I don't feel like that. Like I feel like I'm just being me. I guess like I just run my mouth or something like that in real life or something. But it's funny, like a lot of people that like are my close friends are like, I watch like other people that stream and stuff, and you're so like engaging, so personable, so like a lot of my friends tell me like I'm the most like cheerful person they've met playing fighting games, because they said like a lot of other people are just so like bitter playing fighting games. Because if I get like cooked, I'll like still message somebody and be like, dude, hey, GG's, like man, those were like some sick combos. I know other people, they'll get cooked and they'll be like, man, like screw you, like you suck, stuff like that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna give credit to that dude that kicked my ass. Like I can feel the work he put into his team. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like the opposite of toxic, I guess you would say. But that's just how like my brain works and how I think. Like I'm just being me. So that always really means a lot to hear that from other people saying like, if like you said, like seeing any potential in me, or seeing like about me becoming like the chance of becoming like a big streamer, because I'm putting like myself 100% into it. Like I really care about it. It's a lot of fun. It's something that I can do that gives me such a gain mentally that I don't feel like I'm being held back by my back and hip, which I felt like that before in like various other stuff. Like I said, it definitely keeps me from doing like a full job. I don't want to go into a lot of like the problems I have with my health and back, because some of it is more like personal to me, and I don't want it to be like a down like negative thing. Again, because I always try and keep like big energy, but it just prevents me from having like a normal like structured job because of like what's going on with my hip and back, with it being 13 years of having a fusion surgery basically. I can't explain this because I've said this before on stream, what basically happened to my back in terms of like the surgery and why like it is so sensitive and like iffy, I guess would be a funny way of saying it. Is I have a rod on either side of my lower back with 4 screws holding each rod in, and I also have a fused vertebrae. I have a cadaver bone was put in between my 2 vertebrae, or one of my vertebrae that broke, to fuse it together. So I have like a slightly larger like vertebrae there where that one fused. And basically because it was my lower back, here in the past like 4 or 5 years, I've started having problems not just in my lower back but also into my hip. So that's basically like where it's come from and stuff like that. So it's just it's not nothing I'm like, you know, worried about or anything like that, because I definitely, since like day one of like I broke my back, I knew like, okay, this is what my life is going to be now. Like this is a part of my life, but I'm not going to let it define my life. So yeah, like I said, I have to spend the 1.5, 2 hours every day just exercising. And by exercising, it's not like, you know, like big weightlifting or stuff like that. No, it's like physical therapy is basically what it is. So a lot of stretches, a lot of like, you know, not too heavy stuff, but like resistance bands, stuff like that, just to keep my muscles like loose, make sure nothing's tight, keep like flexibility in my back so I don't get like arthritis in it and stuff like that. That's why like I stream with like a heating pad also to like help me keep going. That's also why when I stream Treasure Cruise, since it's earlier in the day for me, so I can start these events, because the events start at my time like 4 a.m. I'm not getting up at 4 a.m., but I'll stream after lunch slash breakfast. These streams are a little harder on me than when I stream like the RPGs or the fighting games at night, because this is before I've done my exercises, and it is harder for me to get up in the morning, just like full disclosure. That's why the Treasure Cruise streams are never as long as like the RPGs or fighting game ones. If you want to tell it, but how did you break your back? Yeah, I can tell it. I've told it on streams in the past, and I don't mind like repeating it, because like I said, you might miss those streams or anything like that, and I don't mind. 4 a.m. What time in your country? Right now it is 2:48, so just before 3 p.m. I'm on the eastern coast of the U.S. So I believe like they start either like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. our time. It's hard to say like with daylight savings. It's one of those two. And I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. like to stream Treasure Map like the second it starts, you know what I mean? Or Kazuna like the second it starts. Especially not Kazuna, because God forbid like I start and like my team don't even work. Almost 9 p.m. That's why I was thinking from when before you were asking about like the time conversion there of like what time I'd be streaming. I was thinking, yeah, it was probably like around there, which is funny. 9 p.m. my time is usually when I stream like the RPGs and the fighting games, is between like 8 or 9. And sometimes I stream till like 1, 2 a.m. Just depending on like when I start, because I'll start anywhere between like 8 p.m., 10 p.m., and I'll stream to like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. because it's easier for me on the back half of the day because it's further from when I got up in the morning because it's hard for me to get up, and I have done like my exercises and stuff like that. But yeah, to answer your question, what happened when I broke my back was I was in a car accident actually. I was a senior in high school, and so I know. The first thing you think of when you hear like senior in high school, no, I was not intoxicated or under any drugs or anything like that. I'm actually straight edge. I've never used any drugs or alcohol in my life. Being 30 years old now, I also have no plan of ever using any drugs or alcohol. I don't fault anyone for like what they do or anything like that. It's just not for me. It's just even as a kid, I was just never interested in that kind of stuff. Never like once ever was just interested in that for me. So basically, the car accident, I was by myself. I was in my car, and I was driving home. It was at night. So I live, now I live in the city, but where I grew up was very rural. So I was driving home at night, and it was a clear night too, and it was going around a curve that was kind of like an incline. So the curve kind of went like that, like up a little bit. And going around that curve, since it's both curved and going up, you couldn't really see what was at the top of it. And going up to the top, once I got up there was a deer in the road. And I wasn't speeding or anything. I was going the speed limit. And what happened though was, since like now it's like that deer kind of like came out like nowhere essentially. It scared me. Like I didn't know what to do, and it was like right in the middle of the road. So I like kind of like did like that, or something like that must have like happened, where I like jerked the wheel or something, and I went off the road. Right off the road there. Thankfully, it wasn't off the turn. The turn was like I was on the inside portion. That if I went on the outside, I would have like gone over a hill. So I was on the inside portion. I hit a tree, and the tree flipped my car over kind of like that. I sideswiped the tree, and it flipped my car like that. When it flipped my car, the car also went airborne, and the roof of the car hit another tree and like wrapped around it and slid down the tree on the driver's side. So this didn't knock me out. I wasn't unconscious or anything. But when it ended, literally like my driver's side window's broken, and right here beside me is dirt. Like I'm on like the ground like that. So I'm like kind of like, like sideways in the car because the dirt's here. I have my seatbelt on, so I'm like held in place. And the airbag went off, but now it's deflated and stuff like that. And immediately, because I wasn't knocked unconscious, immediately I knew like I broke my back, because I felt like this pain I'd never felt in my life. Ever. I never felt anything like that. My back was just like on fire in my lower back. I knew I broke it immediately. And the first thing I thought in my head was, oh my God, like I broke my back. I hope I'm not paralyzed, because I knew it was my lower back. So I was afraid like I wasn't going to be able to walk. So I immediately, like, no joke, like people all the time are like, how does your brain work like that? Immediately, like I took my shoes off, and I was like, once I saw like, because I had on like Vans like slip-ons, so I like popped my shoes off, and like I immediately like reached my hand down, and like I could feel my toes, and like feel like, okay, yeah, I'm touching my foot, I'm wiggling my toes, I'm not paralyzed or anything like that. So once I knew I wasn't paralyzed, I was like, man, I can't just sit here sideways though, because this like freaking hurts. I need to get myself in a position to where I know I'm going to be okay, in terms of like while I'm waiting for like help. So I kind of like undo my seatbelt and turn myself a little bit to where now like I'm sitting on my door, just so I'm not like this, like laying like with my back like bent. Now I'm like kind of support myself with like holding my back straight, because I know I broke it. And then literally like my phone, I knew was like about to die. I knew it was on like 1%. So now that I got myself like in a safe spot, I literally grabbed my phone, and like the fastest like humanly possible, I like pull up in my contacts, go to my mom, call her, and I say, "Mom, I was in a car accident on this road," and then like I give her the road name, and then my phone died, so she knew where I was at. My phone died. She couldn't like call me back or anything like that, but she knew where I was at, and I was like 10 minutes from my home anyway. Thankfully, somebody drove by. They saw like my car was in an accident. I didn't know how far like my car went. I just knew it felt like I hit like a hell of a lot of trees. So I didn't know if anybody was going to see me. But thankfully, like somebody stopped. They called for like an ambulance and stuff like that, and they were able to like saw like the car open and like get me out. And once they like rushed me to the hospital, they were like, "Yeah, you definitely broke your back like you were thinking." And they also saw my lung exploded, like the lung on this side here. It's funny, like I had no injury here, but I had a punctured lung, and literally like even though nothing penetrated through my ribs or anything like that, my lung literally exploded from how hard I hit my car door when it fell from the tree. That impact like popped my lung. So yeah, then that's how it happened. So it was a crazy, crazy, crazy incident that happened like, yeah, 13 years ago. Literally just like just a freak accident like that. And the worst thing about it was literally afterwards, like everybody and their brother like came out the woodworks and was like, "Don't you know when you see a deer you're supposed to hit it?" First of all, nobody ever told me that. And second of all, like just me thinking this, and a lot of other people have told me like, "No, I think you're in the right there." That's like really insensitive to say to someone who was in this car accident, that like this really freaking bad car accident, to then like come back and say like, "Well, yeah, you did the wrong thing though." Like, gee, thanks. Like, yeah, that like what does that do for me? Like you saying that now after the fact, like, so it's just very, very bizarre. It's just, so to speak, when people say like stuff like that. Go ahead and KO Garp here. It's so funny you saying it's almost being like 9 p.m. there, because that's literally like that makes so much sense to me, because that's like right in line with the times like when I normally stream like the RPGs and like the fighting games. I think most people are on Twitch at night. It's just like I want to start the OPTC stuff as early as I can into the event starting, which for me would be like lunchtime the next day. Because like I said, I ain't getting up no 4 a.m. Now that you tell me that, I'm not going to complain with my situation ever again. I hope you were able to don't think about much. Yeah, no, I don't. I really don't think about like much at all. Like being after, like I said, 13 years with it. It's just like I said, it's a part of who I am, but doesn't define who I am. Like yes, I've had a fusion surgery, and that means like I do certain things different than some people, and I'm unable to do certain things. But um, it actually it just, I'll say this, like a lot of people tell me like I took something like that in stride compared to other people, because literally like right when it happened, like I said, when I was released from the hospital, I just had this thought in my head that just kept like playing in my mind, like I either like get busy living or I'm gonna get busy dying. Cause like if I did nothing, like if I had that accident and I just like lamented like how bad it was and stuff like that and was just depressed and did nothing about it, it would just got worse. So from the start, like I was doing physical therapy and I was working hard. Like I want this to impact my life as little as possible. I want to be able to. I know like it's still going to impact my life, but I don't want to like not feel like I'm living. So I just worked hard to like do my exercises, like walk and stuff like that, because all the effort that I put in every single day like that is the way I think about it, and it is like from talking to like my physical therapist and like my doctors and stuff like that. All the effort I'm putting in now is ensuring that I'll have a better life later on. Because like, yes, there is a higher risk of arthritis. There is a higher risk of me having like needing like a hip replacement or stuff like that later in my life because of it. But the efforts I put in now at being like just now turning 30 last year, and the accident happened when I was 17 years old, like it happening so young gave me the potential to continue like growing with the injury and not just let like my body like decay with injury, so to speak. Like, so it's definitely like a big mental part of it. And no, trust me, like your comment, like I didn't even think anything about like you saying like now I'm not going to complain with my situation. Like, no, I didn't think about like that. Like I'm never like I'm not like I trust me. I don't think anything negative about that. Like like you know what I'm trying to say. Like, so no, it's just funny. Like you like saying it, phrasing it like that. Though it's just funny. How you say like I'm not gonna say that again. Like after hearing that, because no, it's not like that at all. Like I'm not. I don't feel like I'm not like I don't know how to phrase it, like disadvantaged or anything like that. I feel like with everything I have going on in terms of like specifically like with my family, as in like me and my wife, I definitely don't feel like I'm in any bad situation. Like I feel like I have like my best friend, my partner, like right there with me to support me and be there to help me out in any way I need, and that's the best thing I could ever ask for. Like, is having like someone like that like be there for me when I need them, and even when like I don't need her like specifically for something, she's still there to support me in like ways I hadn't even thought of yet. So like, and I try and do the same for her. So that's like really, really, really like a great like boon, I guess you would say. What does suck though, I will say this: you saying like, I hope you're not able to think about much. What's funny is like probably close to 2 years ago now, we found out that I'm autistic. And it's funny, like my whole life I felt like I never fit in with people. Like I felt like nobody when I was in school ever like liked the stuff that I liked or was cared about the stuff that I cared about, and definitely not as much as I did. And come to find out that like so much stuff in my life, especially like my personality wise, was explained with me being like diagnosed as like autistic. And that's why like I always felt like nobody thought the same way that I thought or anything like that. Also, I just realized the sound was off on Treasure Cruise this whole time. That's funny. Didn't even realize like the sound wasn't on. My bad. But one thing that does come with being autistic is that you're a lot more sensitive in like all your senses, and like that was something that like I'd always had my whole life. And it is very common that a lot of autistic people are also in some kind of like chronic pain, because if they have some kind of pre-existing condition, they're just them being more sensitive, they're feeling like those like nerve reactions more common and stuff like that. So that literally like ever since this happened with my back, I've always felt like even though I'm not like hurting per se, why can I not stop like my brain from like constantly feeling like unsettled or some kind of like pins and needles or something like from my back or hip? And that's why. So sometimes I feel like I'll tell people like it feels like sometimes I feel like I'm working on like 90% of my brain power, because 10% of it is like in the background thinking about like that's really uncomfortable right now, or like something's not right with my back, like this is very like unsettling and stuff like that. Like, so yeah, I can intentionally like it. I don't be like thinking about much. Like I don't sit around like lament over the fact that I had that car accident or stuff like that. But sometimes like it's hard to like stop my brain from thinking about stuff. Like right now I am getting these signals of like it's just very uncomfortable. That's why you'll see me like shifting and stuff like that. But again, that's just part of who I am. So it's like I am like used to that. It's like at least I have like an explanation of it and stuff like that. Hey, stop fighting, guy. The cats over here fighting right behind the laptop. I do not want them to knock it over. If they do, it'll be GG to the stream. Okay, alright, they like calm down. They're like separated now. I was about to say, chat, it's not gonna be good for y'all. I thought it was about to blast the like laptop. Okay, there we go. Use a card 15 times. This is the last one, so now I'm gonna quit like tapping through these. I just don't know what happened. Like they say, yeah, we're gonna be doing an update so that way like you won't have to click on these so much. Where the hell did that update go? Unless they're still working on it, they might still be working on it. Let me grab some more water. Can't believe I did almost the entire stream without the sound on Treasure Cruise. That's so funny. I was just sitting there looking at like my my audio like mixer, and I started thinking like, why is Treasure Cruise like off? And I like look down and I see like I'm playing it on my phone, like it's going. I was like, wait, what? Give me 1 second, chat, so I got it. Trying to see if that noise was outside. Might have been the wind. I really can tell though. I mean, realize I complain every single day except my ODS and nothing else when I could just concentrate on other things. No, it's like again like, and this is part of like I found out too, like me having like the autism. Like I always don't understand. Like sometimes I don't understand how I'm coming across people, and I just want to say this, like, I'm sure, like, you weren't thinking this at all, but, like, sometimes, like, I'll even say, like, messages on Discord, I'll be like, oh, I hope that didn't sound like this, because I was just trying to say this. I'm not trying to say, like, I didn't want to make you feel like, you have other things to worry about or anything like that. Like, no, everybody's situation, like, is different. I always say, like, you never know what, like, somebody's going on or, like, going through or anything like that. So, like, I always try and be, like, you know, really cordial with, like, people and, like, understanding and stuff like that. So like, no, don't feel like I was like, you know, there's always stuff that could be worse or anything like that. Like basically I'm just trying to say like I wasn't trying to make you feel like any kind of way or anything like that, because like, you know, just the same mentality I'm trying to have in like when I put in like my rules there for the stream is like, I just want like, you know, good vibes, good energy, and a great like, you know, community. We can just like get along, like talk, and like just enjoy like playing these games together and like stuff like that. Because there's so much negativity and stuff out there in the world, and like it's sad to say, like there's so much negativity in like gaming. Like I always have to like tell people like about like a fighting game specifically. Like at the end of the day, it's a game, and like they're made to like, you know, be fun and like have some kind of like escape from like all like the bad, like the negativity that's like out there in the world and like stuff like that. So I'm just trying to like spread like good energy and like, you know, give people like a reason to like, you know, smile or like laugh or like something like that. Like just cause like you never know what people are going through, and like they could like always like need that. Like the littlest thing could mean so much to someone else. And I think like I even think like going back to like when I was in high school and like even like in my 20s and stuff, like working in retail, like you would see hundreds of different people every single day, and like the 5 minute at most interaction you have ringing them up could make the hugest difference in their day if you just like, you know, or just like say like, hey, how are you doing today, or like something like that. So you never know what people are like going through and stuff like that. No, I wasn't thinking that. Don't worry. Thank you so much for like saying that, because like you have no idea. Like literally, like I'll like talk in like our fighting game Discord, and like I'll say something like, "Hey, I wasn't trying to like offend anybody or anything like that." Like, because I know there's no tone in like a written message. I was just trying to say like, "Hey, this is just how I think about something like that." And sometimes like I'll even like when I'm talking to like people like my friends or family in like person, again, this goes back to like finding out about like being autistic. If they say something and I'm like, I don't know what they mean, I'll literally like I'll have to ask them and say like, I could you say that again? Like, could you like be more specific? Like say like what you mean, or like what do you mean like behind that? Just because like it's hard for me to like, just as it's hard for me to sometimes read how I'm coming across, it's hard for me to read how other people are coming across. So if I ever do that on stream, that's why. It's so you might hear me other times be like, hey, I don't mean like anything like that, but that's just because like I literally can't tell. Like I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to say like, did that come across the way I mean to? It happens to you sometimes too. Yeah, a lot of people I know are like, oh yeah, like that's not just you. Like I know it's more common for being autistic and in autism, like people, other people that are on the autism spectrum. But to me, it's like the speaking from that person, they'll be like, but I do that also, like you know, like because I want to know like what does that mean or anything like that. So it's funny that like, yeah, a lot of people are like, oh no, that's like I get that's like something that's specific to like what I have, but also like they're like, you know, that's just a normal thing that like other people deal with too. So it's just it's funny like that. But one thing that I do love about like streaming, and I'm really hoping that, you know, obviously like I said, I put 110% in anything that I do, streaming, drawing, graphic design. You know, when I was able to work like in job and stuff, I would put 110% in like anything I do. I don't like waste. I don't want to waste my time doing stuff. I don't want to do anything like half-assed, because then it's like, well, why did I do it? Like I could have done anything else. Why would I like just do something whatever? So one of my like big goals is, if like, well, not if, I want to be like positive and put something good in the universe, is when like I get like really like to grow my streaming community and like get like a larger community and stuff like that. I really want to do like charity streams for the children's hospital that I was at when I broke my back, because it was such a, for that to be such a traumatic thing. And I was sent to a children's hospital because I was still a minor since I was 17. That it was a phenomenal staff. They took such good care of like me and my family, that I've always wanted to like give back to them. And I never knew like a way that I really could, because I wanted to give back to them, not just for like what they did for me, but for all the other like children that they help. Because it's not like a doctor's office. It's a hospital, so there's a lot of kids there going through a variety of different things, like not just like what I was going through with my car accident, but kids that are also there, you know, for like cancer, burn wards, stuff like that, like different stuff. So I've always wanted to like give back to them in some way, in some capacity that I could. And I could just never figure out like what was the best way to, and like using streaming as a platform, and being able to like grow a community, and seeing like other streamers that I like doing charity streams. That is something that's like really important to me, that once I can really grow my community like really big, I would love to do that, to be able to give back to like the people in my community that helped me, like really like in all seriousness really like saved my life, because like that was a major surgery that like I had performed on me, So I would love to be able to use this platform to like give them like a thank you. That's something that I've wanted to do for ever since then. I just couldn't ever figure out like what would be the best way for me to do that. So I think that would be like that's one of my like big streaming goals, and that's something that I'm like really excited about like for the future and like hoping to do and like looking forward to. Give me 1 second, chat, just to check outside just real quick. I want to see one thing just real quick because we have a holiday tomorrow in the U.S. So my wife actually has tomorrow off work, and whenever there's a federal holiday, she also gets like the day off early. I know she left work like 45-ish minutes ago. So once she gets here, I do want to go ahead and wrap up the stream so I can spend the rest of the day with her and stuff. I have to go. See you next time. Yeah, I'll see you probably more than likely next week for the Kazuna, because I'm definitely going to be streaming the Kazuna. But I say more than likely because I'm thinking about your like time zone difference and my time zone difference. Because when it's like 10, 11 here, I don't know what time it would be there, but I know it's probably the flip. It'd probably be like 4 a.m. or like really early for you to like catch like an RPG stream. So yeah, it's no worries. Thank you so much for like stopping by and hanging out and talking. It was a lot of fun. Again, always great to see like familiar names in the chat like pop up. And again, like I hope like the information I was able to give you, even though I wasn't able to like really help you specifically build the teams, I hope the information I gave you in terms of like saying like what was going on in like the East Blue versus Grand Line League and the resource I was able to give you, and a big shout out to Marcus again for his great like YouTube channel. I hope all that stuff was able to help you like with your teams and stuff to the best I was able to, like while still like streaming and stuff. That's the teams that works, that's okay. Yeah, I'll catch you next time, man. I will see you for the Kazuna. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your week, man. And after we beat this fight, chat, I think we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. Just because, like, my back is getting a little sore. We streamed for, like, a little bit longer than I was planning. I was hoping to do, like, 2.5 hours, and I see it's 2 hours, 45 minutes that, we've been recording. I see the actual uptime of the streams, like, been, just under 3 hours because we were, like, talking earlier on. So after we wrap this up, I'm going to go ahead and, like, in the stream, so me and Morgan can hang out when she gets home. Just as soon as I finish this boss fight, and we'll see what our score is. Take out Big Bro Borsellino here. Kaido. Also, chat, I have need to go on a break anyway because I have got to use the restroom. This water and that coffee are running freaking through me, chat. I said chat, Haley, not cat. She was like looking in the eye right when I said that. Alright, cool. So we got Kizaru taken out. Let's check what our score is, and then we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this up here. What's today's date, by the way? 18th, okay. And yeah, chat, remember it is iced coffee day, by the way, so if you are able and are a coffee fan, definitely recommend heading out to Dunkin' Donuts. Because any iced coffee or iced cold brew that you get, they are donating to the Dunkin' like charity they have for children. So even though I had that coffee there, I might go pick me up one later, just to help spread a little bit of joy. I think this was called like the Dunkin' like Joy campaign or something like that. Or let's see where we left off. We got to 8.1 million points already. Navigation level of 38. So very, 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 very cool. It's a very successful stream. We got really far. But I knew we would. Like I said, once the first intrusion fight that I beat gave me like 500,000 points, I knew like this was going to be a pretty smooth sailing one. But thank y'all so much for stopping by and joining, hanging out while we were streaming there. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and I will see y'all tomorrow night for Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. We're going to be starting the Warriors of the Sky DLC. So I will check y'all then. Y'all have a good one.